beatfella.com.
Hi, and thank you for listening to Transitional Changes Mission Podcast Show. This is your host, Queen Summers.
With your host, King Summers.
Now, before we left out, I was asking, what can schools do to help support children and parents? I didn't get anyone from the school system or response back from anyone in the school system, so I came up with my own and said that it would be important for schools to help parents establish routines with clear expectations about educational time and activities. This will help reduce parents' stress and children's adjustment difficulties. Schools should also support parents in homeschooling and help build parents' confidence that they can support their children and meet their children's educational needs. Lastly, we'd recommend finding ways to continue to offer support and services to at-risk children and those who need special educational services. So I'm going to leave you with 3 tips. Knowing what to expect relieves anxiety and helps us to redirect. For this semester, as a homeschool mom, I plan my homeschoolers' days as academic, physical, fun food. Like on Tuesdays, it's math, karate videos, and pizza night. On Thursdays, we do reading, wheels, bikes, scooters, skates, something with a wheel, smoothies, and sandwiches. It's fun to be creative with things we can do. We block out mornings from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. with class, and after that, it's free time to read or go outside, with the weather permitting, of course. And even then, we have tons of board games, water and kinetic sand for inside play.
And yes, it is very fun doing that with Princess. But yes, my thing is to the people, as every show recently that I tried to promote, to give people the memory of everything is a process. Now, during a process, what is it a person to do while we're going through this process? Or having the knowledge, are we in a process? And I would say we are. We are in that process when I started off talking about the episode of technology. How things are moving forward. Has been moving forward all my life. Some of the things I seen when I was a teenager in some magazines have not even been put out into the streets yet. I guess the elite or the governments are trying to give people a chance to catch up with this process. During a pandemic, that's one thing that I'm trying to explain to people, that the pandemic has put a pause and maybe has ended the old ways. Not all the old ways of living, but majority of a lot of things. There are businesses that is not coming back. Not to say that that same entrepreneur that closed their business can't come up with a new creative business that's of the time. Within the schooling, they are already hearing from President Joe Biden to say that build new schools.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these new schools is going to be high tech. They might have already had the plan laid out 5 years ago, but they see the opportunity and just trying to gather the people to come with them. It's the same with Walmart now, is hiring robots to bring out your groceries to your car. A lot of technical things that even when I was learning welding, the foreman informed me to say, you learning welding, but you need to learn how to operate that welding arm over there.
Right. So this next tip is for parents who have children who are toddlers or preschool age in addition to school age kids. It is so important that your student, the one that is in school, has little distraction as possible when they are trying to learn. So keeping the little ones out of the room or allow your student to go to a quiet space to do their schoolwork. If you don't have a separate space available, you can have special toys or special activities that you pull out for that toddler or preschooler only during school time. From experience, it has to be something really good that they like to do, something new, something fresh, and it only comes out while the older students are doing school.
And that is exactly what I was just talking about, me learning a new idea, and somebody was advising me to learn the new way. And that's what Queen Summer's saying during this process. Learn creative ways to teach your kids, to replace that teacher, or to gain that reward yourself.
And this is the last tip. Do not be afraid to watch the videos that the teachers are requiring. Take the work that the teachers are requiring and take them off the computer and present them to your child. It would be like a one-on-one tutoring situation. Still the same content, still the same information, but you in real life, not in the cyber world, would be presenting the material. Even if you do it the same way the teacher does online, there's just something different about that real world experience of sitting next to them at a table teaching it for some students. So don't be afraid to make judgment calls based upon your family situation. Each kid is unique, and as much as possible be able to respond to what's coming out of each of your kids. Use this as a chance for your kids to explore their interests. If the work is driving them nuts, allow them to find what they love and give them time each day to explore that.
As always, our doors are open to do what is the saying of it takes a village to raise one kid. So in your community, if you see a 4-household family or 3-household or 2-household, and you might not see them with the emotions of having problems with teaching their school, because most people are so private now.
Mm-hmm.
But on the internet, Transition to Changes Mission podcast show, you now have the opportunity to call 910-985-9090. And if you get the voicemail, you can leave your message of explaining what is you doing creative that you would like to share to the world.
That's right. Or you can write to us at tcmissionspeaks@gmail.com.
And as always, as we are in this month of February, we are going to talk about some Black history, African American Black history.
Now, this one right here, I know for a fact, it might catch a lot of people by surprise. Everyone remembers or has knowledge on the March on Washington in 1963. Sadly, few remember the man who was one of the primary organizers of the march. Bayard Rustin was a key figure in the civil rights movement years before it started garnering the attention that it did. He instigated one of the first freedom rides back in 1947 and was one of the founders of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. One of Martin Luther King Jr.'s most important advisors, Rustin has often been overlooked because he was an openly gay man at a time when it was considered unacceptable. We pay homage to you, Bayard Rustin. Thank you for your contribution.
And as I speed up to the modern time, my history is to talk to the people now. And for the people, as we realize or gain a knowledge of what's going on or what has been done to the Black community, don't get upset with nobody. Nobody is to blame for what can be learned from you or to you. And what I mean by that is to take the time out to go back and read empowering things. Don't go to the modern time. Take it all the way back to the ancient time.
Mm-hmm.
Take it all the way back to find the forbidden books about the African kings and queens that ruled the world.
Mm-hmm.
Take the time out to learn about the historical people that is in the modern time too.
That's right.
All these things can empower you. And yes, we might have a brick wall or whatever is trying to pound us down. We are the Creator's children as well as everybody on this planet. Nothing can beat you down.
No.
Keep your chest up with your chin high and learn this knowledge that was forbidden to empower you, king and queen.
And prince and princesses. So, King, the next show coming up is
Valentine's, yes. Valentine's Day, the love day is coming. Cupid flying around now.
Giving lots of kisses.
Yes, and got his red dot on some people too.
So, what will we be doing with this show coming up, King, that is very special?
On that last show, Love, we announced the surprise to give to the audience. We know that some communication is having a gap in between it. Always, as we came into this nonprofit and our ideas of ending family homelessness and closing the gap on communication, we are now offering our audience to give a shout out to the ones that they love or just want to say love to anybody. And how you can do that is by dialing 910-985-9090.
And that also means that if you would like to share with the world by giving tips, advice involving all varieties of relationship statuses, please feel free to get your spot in on the show. This is an opportunity that will not last long, and I encourage anyone who have a heart to join us as we spread love and not hate.
And like we said before, it's ours. You be the one that's with your voice worldwide telling your wife that you love them on Transitional Changes Mission with your host, King Summers.
And your host, Queen Summers. And tell your daughter, your son, your grandson, your granddaughter, you love them.
And with that said, we appreciate you tuning in to us tonight and so on. And we look forward to this Valentine's as well as we pray that you do too, because we love you and we will be ready for you this Sunday coming up.
Thank you so much for listening to our show this evening. This is your host, Queen Summers.
And your host, King Summers.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Education is fun, especially at home. Thank you.